Several months ago I bought a emergency services ambulance liveried Volvo XC70 off eBay. Sight unseen, with no MOT and a lot more faults than were declared in the listing. Over the past few months I have fixed almost all of those faults and transformed what was an emergency services liveried ambulance Volvo into what you see behind me now. Gone is the bright yellow bonnet, gone is the broken prop shaft and CV joints. I have fixed numerous faults on this vehicle. It is completely roadworthy, so much so that we were confident enough to drive it 1,000 miles from home to the hills of Tuscany to enjoy a trip away for our 30th wedding anniversary. Well, I would say that that was worth the drive. That blue thing is the Mediterranean Sea. That over there is Portofino, and that thing up there is the sun, and we haven't seen that for quite a while. If you've seen any of my videos, you will know that the very next thing that I am going to do is enter the water and just make sure it's safe for everybody else. So that's the next stop, I think. Let's go. This is quite a transformation from ambulance to overlander, with the dual battery system, 240 volt hookup, electrical points, USB points, cruise control, new steering wheel, new power steering pump, new fluids, new tires, Falcon Wild Peak 83 pluses, which on this trip have been absolutely unbelievably good. We've been through all sorts of conditions except snow, and those tires have been absolutely amazing. So now that we're 1,000 miles away from home, give or take a couple of miles, and we've explored the Tuscan countryside near Volterra, this little hotel, Il Palaghetto, is perched on top of a little hill with tall pines that you would imagine that a little rural Tuscan hotel would look like. It is just fantastic. Where to now? Well, we're going to head north back home to England via the Alps on the Austrian side into Germany, and then back onto the ferry via northern France. But anyway, this is Ragnar, the overlanding XC70 that was rescued from eBay, put back on the road with a fresh MOT, all mechanical faults fixed, and it's been upgraded and ready to do thousands and thousands of miles more. The hope is we'll actually hit 200,000 miles on the way home, because that would be a great way to wrap up this phase of this project, let's say. And yes, that is thousands of miles of road grime all over the car, because that's kind of like christening a vehicle. It shows you that this car has been somewhere that other cars haven't, and that is dust from Tuscan back roads and adventures up in mountains like those in Tuscany. Man, this car is cool. What a comfortable cruiser this thing has turned out to be. Not that I had any doubts. There's the electrical hookup, dual battery system is in the boot. Just remember, it's lifted, not lowered. And it's filthy with road grime, just the way an overlander should be. I don't build show cars. I build cars for adventures. Thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and see what happens next on Adventures and Automobiles. Happy days. For our Tuscan road trip in Ragnar the Volvo XC70, we crossed over into France and then drove along to Reims, where we stopped by the historic raceway, which was a really interesting experience in itself. It's wonderful that this place has been so meticulously restored and is available for the public to visit. We then travelled from Reims down to the southeast area of France to a hotel on the banks of the Aisne River in the town of Neuville-sur-Aisne. And the name of the hotel was the Golden Pheasant. And let me tell you, it was a real surprise because I have had the best steak ever with wild truffle sauce at that hotel. It was unforgettable. The next day, we drove up through the French Alps and through the Mont Blanc Tunnel, out into the Italian Alps, crossed across the great plains of northern Italy, over the Mediterranean Alps, down into a town near Portofino called Lavagna, where we had an awesome marina side apartment and our first swim in the sea of the year. I just love traveling to the Mediterranean and swimming in that sea. I don't know what it is about it, but I really, really love it. Then we traveled towards Tuscany, and bypassing Pisa, we decided to, seeing as though we're here, let's drop in and have a look at this wonky leaning tower, which we did, which was a great experience. We then continued south into Tuscany and to our hillside hotel with a beautiful view of the Tuscan rolling countryside and the historic city of Volterra on the mountain opposite. We also enjoyed the culinary delights of the Tuscan cuisine, including a trip to a wine farm, which was absolutely amazing. So we have found a spot next to the 66 or 64 and just had a quick look, and there's a pathway going down to some potential swimming spots. I have definitely found a place to swim. So we've got a little ravine over there and waterfall, and look at this. Time for a wild swim. Let's do it. It's probably going to be cold because I'm in the mountains, but this water is crystal clear and it's the way I like it. Woohoo! Yes! After spending some time in Tuscany, we travelled north and took in the sights and sounds of the Ferrari Museum and also the Enzo Ferrari Museum, and then travelled up to Milan, where we visited the incredible Alfa Romeo Museum. If you have not been, the Alfa Romeo Museum is incredible and well worth a trip to Milan in itself. Then we drove along the shores of Lake Como, up through the Swiss Alps, through Switzerland, down into Germany, where we spent a night there, raced along the Autobahn at maxed out speed in Ragnar, then crossed northern France again to the ferry and home. That was our Tuscan road trip in Ragnar, and a great reward for all the hard work that I've done on this vehicle. I was super, super impressed and couldn't wait to do another one. That's coming up a little bit later.